Hello, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in with us today. My name is Medha, and I welcome you all to Thespo 23 Build Fully Dramatic. Therefore, I Am is a tribute to Swiss author and playwright Friedrich Dürrenmatt and his life and work. Created by Ramu Ramanathan and supported by Goethe Institute, the presentation will be of 60 minutes, followed by a post-show conversation with Ramu Ramanathan and the crew. Hope you all enjoyed this presentation performed by Aditya Bhattacharya, Yamini Joshi, and Rashmi Kamath. Sit back and enjoy. Thank you.
Welcome to Theatre Gyan number 1 by Friedrich Dürrenmatt. To begin at the beginning, the theatre group of Temple University performed My Meteor. In the theatre group, there were 2 professional actors. The rest were young students. I expected something amateurish and attended the show with trepidation. I was wrong. After Zurich and Warsaw, this was the 3rd performance I was happy with. The director, and this is a rare thing these days, didn't come up with any superfluous or stupid ideas.
Welcome to Theatre Gyan number 2 by Friedrich Dürrenmatt. Many people told us they had stopped going to the theatre in New York, not because of high price of admission, but because of the impossibility of finding a taxi in New York. Traffic, they say, is choking the city. Public transportation is insufficient, and the night hours are feared because of crime. Going to the theatre is going to be much of a trouble.
Welcome to Theatre Gyan number 3 by Friedrich Dürrenmatt. The crucial question is not how and whether theatre is still possible, but where. No less difficult question for nowadays. Theatre is often possible only in places where it can serve as an excuse and impossible where it hopes for new impulses. The idea of street theatre is a beautiful thing, but where are the people that can still make street theatre happen?
Welcome to Theatre Gyan number 4 by Friedrich Dürrenmatt. University theatre, a symptom of the tendency of the theatre to withdraw into the laboratories in order to become a science. From this hiding place, however, there is no way out. One can only go a step deeper. Philosophical theatre and, good Lord, theatre as a doctoral dissertation. There are precedents for this already. The demands that the aesthetic poses for the artist grows daily. Everything is geared towards perfection, and nothing less than that perfection is asked of him. Beware of perfection.
Welcome to Theatre Gyan number 5 by Friedrich Dürrenmatt. A sin of omission. Arthur Miller sent me a telegram urging me to protest against the Russian Writers' Union's treatment of Solzhenitsyn. That is Alexander Solzhenitsyn, Russian novelist, winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature, 1970. I protested. In Russia, the people are made stupid by the party. In the United States, they are stupefied by television. That is something neither Arthur Miller nor I protest against.
Welcome to Theatre Gyan number 6 by Friedrich Dürrenmatt. A diagnosis for the Soviet Union is easy to make. Arteriosclerosis. An arteriosclerotic is incapable of recognizing either an innotation or the need to introduce innovation. He lives in the past. Thus, the Russians consider themselves to be revolutionary for the sole reason that they once carried out a revolution. But just as many Swiss still consider themselves heroes because of some of their ancestors won a battle at Morgarten in 1350. An arteriosclerotic considers everyone who is different from himself an enemy. Unfortunately, he considers himself healthy and capable of thinking. He has fixed ideas and can become a menace to the rest of the world.
Welcome to Theatre Gyan number 8 by Friedrich Dürrenmatt.
Characters, my place, belief, Weltanschauung, a play populated only by dimwits. Wouldn't be interesting. In fact, it enrages me. What enrages me, you ask? this nonsense of the unduly worship of Goethe nowadays. Each and every shitty page gets published and admired. One perceived step backwards and he'll be dropped instantly. But it could happen to me too. That's how I decided that today, on 17 December at 12 in the noon, I will attend the annual Asteroid Astronomy Anonymous Meet at the Astrophysical Observatory. My plan is to register FD as an asteroid. That's right, an asteroid called FD.
Welcome to Scene 1.
For the record, it is 12 p.m. on 17th December.
Here I am to register FD as an asteroid.
So I'm a part of the 15-people committee at the annual Asteroid Astronomy Anonymous Meet at the Astrophysical Observatory. My job is to name and approve.
And publish the name of an asteroid.
You have a recommendation, sir?
Here it is.
Jolly good. Could you please punch in your provisional designation code, composed of the year of discovery and the 2 numbers?
Yes.
Got it. When was the asteroid discovered?
The asteroid was discovered on 5 January 1921, the birthday of FD, you know.
I see. As you know, asteroids can't be named for just anything or anyone. There's a careful selection process with a lot of rules managed by an international organization, such as ours, in charge of collecting and sorting observational data for asteroids.
Your team successfully studied and confirmed its orbit.
Excuse me, sir, but could you please switch on your camera?
I can, but I tend to caress my index finger with my thumb during such meetings, you know, and
such meetings. It seems
intense nervousness.
I see. Please switch on your camera, sir. Rules are rules.
Hello.
Yes. So you were saying the asteroid has got a permanent numeral designation that corresponded with the asteroid's place in the chronological list of previous discoveries.
Problem?
So you've had 10 years to suggest and submit a name for the asteroid.
Name is Friedrich Dürrenmatt. I have mentioned it in my registration.
Including a short pitch for why the name you suggest should be accepted. So why?
Advent of Cold War. The era of the identity crisis was beginning. This era preceded the energy crisis. Bertolt Brecht was in the wings. That's when he appeared, Friedrich Dürrenmatt.
What's the name again?
Friedrich Dürrenmatt.
The name should be 16 characters or less in length, preferably one word, pronounceable, non-offensive, and not too similar to an existing name of an asteroid. Right. How do you pronounce his name?
Friedrich Dürrenmatt.
What is he, this fried rice, whatever?
A playwright. He wrote prolifically. He appeared along with Brecht and Pinter, the classical modernists. The big question for theater then was, whom exactly are we performing for?
Interesting.
Plus, the theme of the classical modernists, failure of languages, mistaken identities, urban loneliness, and the eternal question that Hamlet asks, stand and unfold yourself.
Mr. Hamlet, there is an asteroid of that name, I think.
Really? Ceres, Pallas, Vesta, I've heard of, and...
Wonderful mythological names, but not this Friedrich Dürrenmatt, whatever. Never, ever heard of him. Let's conduct a poll.
A poll? Oh.
Welcome to Scene 2. Welcome to the poll. organized by the annual Asteroid Astronomy Anonymous Meet at the Astrophysical Observatory. The poll question is, have you heard of Friedrich Dürrenmatt? The options are number 1, 9. Number 2, I've heard of Grandpa Goethe. Number 3, I've heard of Baba Buchner. Number 4, I've heard of the Bap of them all, Bertolt Brecht. Number 4, I've heard of Max Frisch. Please vote. Time to announce the results to the poll. And the nines have won. Welcome to scene 3.
I have an appointment.
Oh, yeah. It is 12 p.m. on 17th December.
My plan is to register FD as an asteroid.
So, as you know, the 15-people committee at the annual Asteroid Astronomy Anonymous Meet at the Astrophysical Observatory. My job is to name and approve. But you already know this, right?
Right.
You had 10 years to suggest and submit a name for the asteroid.
But
as you know, there are rules behind the naming rights of asteroids. For instance, why is P11GGWI called P11GGWI? And the J35SO1N is not called the J77SO35. And the 99942 Apophis and the 25143 Itokawa and the 101955 Bennu are triplets. Point is, naming is ritual, paperwork. 6 months, 2 years, eternity, who knows?
yes, of course.
So you want to name your asteroid, sir?
Friedrich Dürrenmatt.
Got it. Excuse me, could you please switch on your camera, sir?
I can, but
But
I tend to chew on my pen during such these meetings, a bit like this.
oh, I see.
Intense nervousness.
Please switch on your camera, sir. Rules are rules.
I'm here to register FD as an asteroid.
Yes. As I was saying, the asteroid has got a permanent numeral designation that corresponds with the asteroid's place. What can you share with me?
Dürrenmatt was born the son of a pastor, and
similar to that chap who named what was it? Asteroid Apophis. I have that in subfolder.
Dürrenmatt made an early study of philosophy at the university,
which, when discovered, received the designation 2004 MN4.
In December 1943, Dürrenmatt was on the point of transferring from the University of Zurich to the University of Bern.
I love universities. The Smithsonian Observatory in Massachusetts. The first 4 digits indicate the year of an asteroid's discovery.
Dürrenmatt intended to write a doctoral dissertation on Kierkegaard and the tragic.
In the case of Apophis 2004 M, this first letter after the year represents the fortnight of the year the discovery was made.
When Dürrenmatt decided to turn to playwriting as a career, and then suddenly,
what suddenly?
Yes, suddenly.
Nothing can ever happen suddenly.
Oh, I see.
Nothing can ever happen out of chance.
It can't? No room for the dialectic of belief?
Wait, I will have to look up the files.
But Dürrenmatt's decision was a fluke.
So it says the trans-Neptunian objects named after creation deities.
Dürrenmatt saw the memorial of Georg Büchner by chance while walking through Zurich.
Objects in 3:2 resonance with Neptune named after the underworld deities.
Georg Büchner, who died in Zurich in 1837 at the age of 26, was the author of the play Wozzeck.
Sir, listen, instead of this fried rice, why don't you look at something fun, like The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Arthur Dent and Zaphod Beeblebox. They gave names to two asteroids. I have it here. 18610 Arthur Dent and 26646 Zaphod.
But Dürrenmatt said Wozzeck exerted a tremendous influence on his writing.
So how about 2309 Mr. Spock, 1927 Pinocchio, 2552 Don Quixote?
No.
The pair, sir, 29401 Asterix and 29402 Obelix.
No, it will have to be Friedrich Dürrenmatt.
I see. We will need to present our case before the committee then.
The committee. Oh.
Welcome to Scene 4. Welcome to the presentation before the committee organized by the annual Asteroid Astronomy Anonymous Meet at the Astrophysical Observatory. Presentation to register FD as an asteroid.
First bell.
Second bell.
Third bell.
Dear committee, we present a short scene from Dürrenmatt's play, The Physicist. The play was penned in 1962. Dear committee, this is a play in which actual physicists are pretending to be madmen who are pretending to be historical figures where nothing is what it seems. Deep, really deep. In this particular scene in Act 1, the head nurse opens the French windows. The body, dead body to be precise, is carried out. The police equipment likewise. The inspector takes off his hat, sits down, exhausted in the armchair to the left of the sofa. Violin with piano accompaniment continues. Then out of room number 3 comes Herbert George Butler in early 18th century costume with wig. Over to the physicists. Act 1.
Sir Isaac Newton.
Police Inspector Richard.
Pleased to meet you, Inspector. Very pleased, really. I heard pounding noises, groaning, gasping, then people coming and going. May I ask what's going on?
Nurse Irene Straub has been strangled.
The regional champion of the National Judo Association.
The regional champion.
Terrible.
By Ernst Ernesty.
Oh, but he's playing the violin.
He has to calm down.
Struggle must have taken a lot out of him. He's rather frail. What did he use to...
The cord of the floor lamp?
The cord of the floor lamp. That's one way to do it, Nesty. I'm sorry for him, extremely sorry. And I'm sorry for the judo champion too. Excuse me, now I have some straightening to do.
Be my guest, our work is done.
Newton sets the table upright and then the chairs.
I can't stand disorder. Actually, I became a physicist only because of my love of order.
Newton rights the floor lamp.
To prove that the apparent disorder of nature is founded in a higher order. Do you mind if I smoke?
Newton lights a cigarette.
On the contrary,
The inspector is about to take a cigar from his case.
Excuse me, but since we were just talking about order, only patients are allowed to smoke here and not visitors. Otherwise, the room would be impossible to breathe in.
I understand.
Inspector puts the cigar case back in his pocket.
Do you mind if I have a little glass of cognac?
Not at all.
Newton takes a bottle of cognac and a glass from behind the fire screen.
Ernesty, I can't believe it. I'm really upset. How could anyone strangle a nurse?
Newton sits down on the sofa, pours himself cognac.
But you have strangled a nurse.
Me,
Dorothy Moser,
the wrestler.
on August 12th, with the curtain cord.
But that's completely a different matter, Inspector. After all, I'm not crazy. To your health.
To yours.
Newton drinks.
Dorothy Moser. When I think back, straw blonde hair, remarkably strong, supple despite her bulk. She loved me and I loved her. A dilemma that could only be resolved by means of a curtain cord.
A dilemma.
My mission is to think about gravity, not to love a woman.
I understand.
And besides, there was this enormous difference in age.
That's true. You must be well over 200 years old.
How do you mean?
Well, as Newton, you know.
Are you a little bit touched, Inspector? Or are you just pretending?
Now look,
Do you really believe that I am Newton?
well, you believe it.
Newton looks around suspiciously.
May I tell you a secret, Inspector? In confidence.
Of course.
I'm not Sir Isaac. I just pretend to be Newton,
And why?
so as not to confuse Ernesty.
I don't get it.
Unlike me, Ernesty, he's really sick. He thinks he's Albert Einstein.
And what does that have to do with you?
If Ernesty found out that I am actually Albert Einstein, all hell would break loose.
Are you saying
Yes, I'm the famous physicist, discoverer of the theory of relativity. That's me. Born March 14, 1879 in the city of Ulm.
The inspector stands, he's somewhat bewildered.
pleased to meet you?
Newton also rises.
Just call me Albert.
You can call me
Inspect-
Richard.
The inspector and Newton shake hands.
I can assure you that if I would fiddle my way through the Kreutzer Sonata with a great deal more brio than Ernst Heinrich Ernesty just did, the way he plays the Andante is simply barbaric, don't you think?
I don't know anything about music.
Why don't we sit?
Newton pulls the inspector down onto the sofa and puts an arm around his shoulder.
Richard,
Albert,
it bothers you, doesn't it? Richard, that you can't arrest me?
but Albert,
Would you like to arrest me because I strangled the nurse or because I made the atomic bomb possible?
but Albert,
When you turn that knob next to the door, what happens, Richard?
the light goes on.
You establish an electric contact. Do you know anything about electricity, Richard?
I'm not a physicist.
I don't know much about it either. All I do is set up a theory based on observation of nature. I write down this theory in the language of mathematics and arrive at several formulas. That's where the engineers come in. All they are concerned with are the formulas. They treat electricity the way a pimp treats a whore. They exploit it. They build machines and the machine doesn't work until it becomes independent of the knowledge that led to its invention. So any fool nowadays can switch on a light or detonate an atomic bomb. And now you want to arrest me for that, Richard. That's not fair.
I don't want to arrest you at all, Albert.
Only because you think I'm insane. But why don't you refuse to switch on a light if you don't understand anything about electricity? You're the criminal here, Richard. Now I must put my cognac away, otherwise the head nurse will throw a fit.
Newton hides the cognac bottle behind the fire screen and leaves the glass standing.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Albert.
You should arrest yourself, Richard. Ha!
Welcome to scene 6. Welcome to one more poll, organized by the annual Asteroid Astronomy Committee at the Astrophysical Observatory. The poll question is, are the 15 members on the committee convinced about naming the asteroid Friedrich Dürrenmatt? The options are, number 1, committee member 7 and committee member 13 want to know, have the 3 main protagonists assumed the persona of 3 historical persons? That is, are Einstein, Newton, and King Solomon pretending to be mad, partly as a way to validate their lunacy? Mobius's unified theory of elementary particles promises total physical power to its possessor. Has Mobius decided to abdicate his responsibility and retire from the world under the guise of mental incapacity so that he may hide the results of his researches and save the world from disaster? This most interesting query is from committee member 3. Another one. Committee member 248 are confused about Butler or Einstein and Ernest Newton. Are they CIA and KGB rivals? Are they trying to lay their hands on the papers of Mobius? But you see, Mobius has actually destroyed that paper. Confusing. Maha confusing. And the chairman wants to know if he can summon the candidate. Candidate?
It's quite simple, really.
Do explain.
The true lunatic in the play Physicist is the director, Dr. von Sand, who copied all the top secret science papers before they were destroyed.
Why so?
Well, so that Dr. von Sand can dominate the whole world.
What kind of damage are we looking for?
The damage has been done.
Other 3.
The damage is irreparable.
So even I am in danger.
Yes, even I'm in danger.
Oh. And the committee members?
Yes, Dr. von Sand says, it's I who decide who my patients think they are. And we are her patients.
Thank you. That will be all. The committee members will now retreat to the chambers and confabulate about the decision.
Okay.
Okay. Welcome to scene 7.
You're late.
What time is it?
It is 12 p.m. on 17th December.
I almost...
We are, the 15 people committee is deliberating over your proposal to register FD as an asteroid. An asteroid.
I was almost struck by a meteor.
You were what, sir?
That's why I'm late.
How?
I was staggering home across the Kirchenfeld Bridge in the direction of the Museum of History in Bern. I stopped to pee through the iron railing into the river when the meteor struck me, almost struck me.
Imagine
a ridiculous rock fragment that had been wandering around the solar system for 6 billion years. A cosmic accident, a planned murder?
And then he told me his story.
Then I told him my story. I climbed over to the barrier onto the Kirchenfeld Bridge.
He climbed over the barrier and stepped onto the Kirchenfeld Bridge. He could feel it sinking. He is
horrified. I did not believe that I can get to the other side.
He no longer believed that he could get to the other side?
The bridge is illuminated by the roaring descent of the meteor. It thunders down into the depths. My belief has abandoned me.
He knew that the bridge would collapse sometime, but he also firmly believed that it wouldn't collapse as he crossed it.
My name is...
His name is FD. That's what he told me.
I need to conquer my fear.
He tends to grind his teeth a lot. Someone needs to tell him they're human teeth, not shark jaws. He could do with some polishing too. Father always says, every 3 months, one must polish teeth.
Welcome to scene 8.
You are late.
What time is it?
It is 12 p.m. on December 17th.
I almost...
The 15 people committee are deliberating the...
I was almost struck by a meteor.
You were what?
That's why I'm late.
Oh.
Imagine a ridiculous rock fragment that had been wandering around the solar system for 6 billion years. A cosmic accident, a planned murder?
And then he told me his story.
That I don't know why I decided to tell my story. I climbed across a barrier.
He said he climbed across the barrier in the belief that nothing can happen to him. He noticed.
The bridge collapsed beneath.
Beneath him, FD.
A patch of lawn shooting toward me in the glaring light of the meteor, and
he says to himself, this is typical.
This is so typical of me.
His belief was nothing but thoughtlessness.
Belief is belief, regardless of what the belief is about.
That's why he set foot on that bridge. And as he set foot on it, both he and the bridge could have dropped into the abyss. Belief is not belief, sometimes.
Human life is beyond comprehension.
He looks like a philosopher. That's what he told me.
I need to conquer my fear.
He tends to think a lot.
In Greek tragedy and Shakespeare, the hero is a member of the highest social class, the nobility.
I see.
Pushkin's Wojciech is a primate proletarian.
Pushkin, who died on 19th February 1937, he was 26, right?
This is Wojciech. With Wojciech, the audience is invited to see itself, its humanity in the last, most miserable form of existence.
So young. But the teeth need polishing. At least once in 4 months, as father says.
Welcome to scene 9.
It is 12 p.m. on 17th December.
I almost...
The 15 people committee and the chairperson wanted to meet you.
I was almost struck by a meteor.
I'm sorry, you were what?
That's why I'm late.
And then he told me his story.
I was determined to study philosophy and to live logically. Astonished, I gazed as the tram was driving past across the Kirchenfeld Bridge.
The tram is driving past across the Kirchenfeld Bridge, filled with employees of the various embassies, with Germans, Englishmen, Americans, Italians, with Germans in the British Secret Service and
All
Englishmen in the Secret Service.
Are possible with people who in 1943, were they not in neutral Switzerland?
Would have to beat each other up.
At the very least, since
they are in a state of war with each other. And then it happened.
Then it happened. I was standing in front of the bridge.
He was standing in front of the bridge.
Desperately trying to refute the axiom according to which the bridge could collapse.
And trying to find a way.
Logical way.
Find a logical way that would permit him to cross the bridge with absolute certainty.
That little grain of belief.
That little grain of belief that he would like to think away cannot be thought away.
I'm still standing in front of the Kirchenfeld Bridge.
He's still standing in front of the Kirchenfeld Bridge.
That's why I'm late. Today, on 17 December at 12 noon.
Logic and reality. When shall the two meet, sir?
Any update from the committee about the asteroid?
Welcome to scene 10.
It is 12 p.m. on 17th December.
I almost.
We are the 15 people committee and the chairperson wanted to meet you.
I was almost struck by a meteor.
You were what?
That's why I'm late.
And then he told me his story.
I knew.
He said he knew.
I knew the bridge would collapse.
He knew the bridge would collapse sometime, but he also firmly believed that it wouldn't collapse as he crossed it.
Sometimes I wonder.
Sometimes he wonders.
I still want to study philosophy. I want to become a physicist. Suddenly.
That word again. Suddenly.
Greek, Latin, mathematics.
What is going to happen?
11.
Life is a web of meaningless thoughts, no?
Welcome to scene 11.
It is 12 p.m. on 17th December.
I almost.
We are the 15 people committee and the chairperson wanted to meet you.
I was almost struck by a meteor.
You were what?
That's why I'm late.
And then he told me his story.
I went home after reading the warning sign.
It was not what I expected.
I began to draw.
He started drawing.
I began to draw the Kirchenfeld Bridge in the process of collapsing.
Sometimes at night with himself on top of it.
Sometimes by day with its load of trams and people dropping into the abyss.
Page after page.
Page after page.
Page after page.
Page after page. That's what I drew.
This is what he drew.
Even today.
Still drawing the collapsing Kirchenfeld Bridge today.
So many FDs out there. 13 FDs. Some with rational beliefs, some with irrational beliefs. Some bridges which I crossed in reality, some bridges which I crossed in fiction. That a bridge that has just been crossed by a tram will not collapse when I cross is a rational belief, even though the probability exists that the bridge will collapse. But this possibility is so improbable that my crossing the bridge doesn't even represent a risk. If I run across the bridge while it collapses, my belief that I can reach the other side is an irrational belief. The dialectics of belief.
Welcome to scene 12.
12 p.m., 17 December.
My plan is to register FD as an asteroid.
The 15 people committee and the chairperson wants to meet you.
Oh.
Yes, sir. The committee has asked you to pay the registration fee.
The 15 people committee, they accepted my proposal.
Achondrite, sir, chondrite?
That is what the committee asked me.
Achondrite asteroids, as you know, sir, they are rich in the platinum group metals like ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, osmium, iridium, and platinum. But he surprised everyone. He said,
Chondrites.
Why did you not say achondrites?
Chondrites are rich in water.
Ah,
said she.
Then he started to do that thing. I wonder what he's thinking about.
The Kirchenfeld Bridge. In all probability, if I built a second bridge, that too would collapse. Since that would collapse, then I would build a third bridge next to it, and so on, one Kirchenfeld bridge next to the other. It means I will never get to the other side. Monstrous.
Sir, the committee has asked you to appear before them.
I remember I told the committee whenever a passenger entered a tunnel, I always feared the train would never emerge.
Oh,
Oh, she said.
later he told me that's Friedrich Dürrenmatt for you.
That's Friedrich Dürrenmatt for you.
The chairman of the committee was a big fan.
The chairman of the committee was a big fan of
the two of the greatest actors ever, John Giegold and Alec Guinness.
I told the chairman about the conversation at night. John Gielgud plays a writer and Alec Guinness plays a public executioner. The BBC has a recording of the lost moment. I gifted the chairman Dürrenmatt's piece called Conversation at Night.
He gifted the chairman's Dürrenmatt's piece called Conversation at Night.
Would you like a cup of coffee?
So, me?
She said yes.
When we went, he made me sit under a painting by Miro. I asked him, Miro, why so? He said,
In the pledge, the narrator, who is the chief of police, went to the Kronenhalle and he sat down to eat under a painting of Miro.
While I sucked the noodles into my mouth, I watched him, pretending to be dumb.
It's the Dürrenmatt mantra, you know, pretend to be dumb. That's the only way to survive on this stupid planet.
Touche, FD.
Not FD, Friedrich Dürrenmatt.
Listen, the 15 people committee and the chairperson wants to meet you. One final presentation. Do it for the Asteroid, okay? All the best, sir.
Why is she smiling? I wonder.
Welcome to scene 13. Welcome to the presentation before the committee presentation to give FD as an asteroid. Dear committee, we present a short scene from Dürrenmatt's play, The Wizard. The play was penned in 1956. Dear committee, our hero is ill. However, one hesitates to call him the hero. He's a tragic figure who's killed by fate. The action of the play takes place in a small fictitious Swiss cathedral town of Gyan. The name means liquid manure in the Swiss dialect. When the play opens, we face a town in the midst of deep economic depression with rampant unemployment and with all of its industries shut down. Everyone awaits the visit of Claire Zachanassian, who was driven by the town many years before with her unborn child who was fathered by ill. Claire Zachanassian is the wealthiest person in the world, and she seeks revenge. Rush of wind, a sedan chair on which Claire Zachanassian is seated, wearing her customary expensive clothes. Over to the visit, Act 3.
It's the Conradsville forest. Stop a moment.
Claire descends from his sedan chair. She inspects the woods.
Bark beetle. This tree's withering away.
Claire notices ill.
Well, Alfred, how nice to see you. I'm visiting my forest.
Does Conradsville Forest belong to you as well, Claire?
Yes, it does. May I sit down beside you?
By all means. I've just said goodbye to my family. They've gone to the cinema. Carl's got himself an automobile.
Progress? Ha!
Claire sits down beside ill to the right.
Otley is taking a course in literature, French and English as well.
You see, They have developed a sense of ideals after all. That's Zobi over there. Zobi, come and make your bow. My ninth husband, Nobel Prize winner.
Very glad to meet you.
Zobi is particularly interesting when he stops thinking. Stop thinking a moment, Zobi. No showing off.
Husband stops thinking.
See? Now he looks like a diplomat. Reminds me of Count Hoke, except that he couldn't write books. He wants to go into retirement, publish his memoirs, and manage my property.
Congratulations.
Well, I feel uneasy about it. You only have husbands for display purposes. They shouldn't be useful. Zobi, go away and do some research. You'll find historical ruins in the left.
Husband 9 goes away to do some research. Il glances around.
What happened to the two eunuchs?
They were getting garrulous. I had them shipped off to Hong Kong. Put them in one of my opium dens. They can smoke and they can dream. The butler will follow them soon. I shan't be needing him either. Anymore. Bobby, get me in my Romeo and Juliet.
Butler emerges from the background, passes Claire a cigarette case.
Would you like one, Alfred?
Thank you.
Yeah, then. Give us a light, Bobby.
They smoke.
Smells good.
We often smoked together in this wood. Do you remember? You used to buy the cigarettes from little Matilda or steal them. Would you like Robbie to play for you on his guitar?
Please.
My pardon killer plays well. I need him for meditative moments. I hate record players and radios.
There is an army marching in an African valley.
Your favorite song? I taught it to him.
Silence. Claire and Il smoke. Cuckoo call, forest sounds, etc. Robbie plays a ballad.
You had, we had a child.
True.
Was it a boy or a girl?
A girl.
And what name did you give it?
Genevieve.
Pretty name.
I only saw the thing once, at birth. And then they took it away. The Salvation Army.
Eyes?
Not yet open.
Hair?
I think it had black hair. But then newborn babies often have black hair.
Yes, they often do.
Silence. Claire and Il smoke. Guitar plays.
Where did it die?
With some people. I've forgotten their name.
What of?
Meningitis. Perhaps it was something else. I did receive a card from the authorities.
In case of death, you can always rely on a card.
Silence.
I've talked about our little girl. Now you talk about me.
About you.
The way I was when I was 17, when you loved me.
I had to look for you a long while, once in Peterson's barn. I found you in the old carriage with nothing on but a blouse and a long straw between your lips.
You were strong. You were brave. You fought that railway man when he tried to pull me. I wiped the blood off your face with my red petticoat.
The guitar stops playing.
Ah, the ballad has ended.
One more. Home Sweet Home.
Oh yes, Robbie can play that.
Thank you for the wreath and for the caresses, for the roses. They will look fine on the coffin in the Golden Apostle. Distinguished. They fill 2 rooms already. Now the time has come. It is the last time we shall sit in our old wood and hear the cuckoo calling and the sound of the wind. They are meeting this evening. They will sentence me to death, and one of them will kill me. I don't know who it will be, and I don't know where it will happen. I only know that my meaningless life will come to an end.
I shall take your coffin to Capri. I have a mausoleum built. In my palace park, it's surrounded by cypress trees, overlooking the Mediterranean.
Yes, I only know it from pictures.
Deep blue, a grandiose panorama. You will remain there, a dead man beside a stone idol. Your love died many years ago, but my love could not die. Neither could it live. It grew into an evil thing, like me, like the pallid mushrooms in this wood, and the blind, twisted features of the roots, all overgrown by my golden billions. Their tentacles sought you out to take your life because your life belonged to me forever. You are in their toils now, and you are lost. You will see soon, being no more than a dead love in my memory, a gentle ghost haunting the wreckage of a house.
Home Sweet Home has ended now as well.
Here's the Nobel Prize winner. He's back from his ruins. Well, Zogby.
The ninth husband says, the early Christians sacked by the Huns, to which Claire says,
What a pity. Give me your arm. Robbie, Toby, the sedan.
Claire gets into the sedan chair.
Goodbye, Alfred.
Goodbye, Clara.
Welcome to scene 14, also the last scene. Welcome to the final poll to decide whether the asteroid should be named Friedrich Dürrenmatt. The committee at
Friedrich
the annual Astronomy Anonymous meet in the Astrophysical Observatory wants to know your decision.
Your decision.
The poll question is, have you heard some of the evidence about Friedrich Dürrenmatt?
Friedrich
Friedrich
Dürrenmatt.
Dürrenmatt.
The options are:
We should register Friedrich Dürrenmatt as an asteroid right away.
We should register Friedrich Dürrenmatt as an asteroid once the committee says aye.
it's all a matter of luck.
They live happily ever after.
We live happily ever after.
To all those of you who are watching, please vote for Friedrich Dürrenmatt.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining with us today. Thank you, performers, and thank you, everyone in the audience, for watching. We'd love you all to join us for a post-show conversation. The link will be dropping in the chat. And there's a lot more happening at Thespo 23. Tune into our Thespo book club at 5 p.m. IST. And don't forget to catch our flagship performance of the day, Plan BCDE, at 7 p.m. IST. Hope you all to see you there. Bye, and thank you.